Welcome to the VNN Lifestyle News Show. Let's take a look back at some of our favorite stories aired right here on VNN. Two organizations teamed up to visit the villages on June 26th and 27th because they knew how many veterans live in this community. American Veterans Center and the Gary Sinise Foundation met with 14 local World War II, Korean War, and Vietnam War era veterans to keep their stories alive and share with future generations.
I would recommend doing it if you feel like you need to share your story. Period. It didn't have to be any other motive to it other than something that you would do for yourself. Just it lifts a burden. It ain't easy, but it lifts a burden. It's like the only way to get to the other side of it is through it. They were certainly professional. They knew what the heck they were doing, and I think they were also very respectful. And it was good. It was a good experience, albeit emotional. If I could contribute to another veteran not doing something drastic, such as, committing suicide, if they could realize that there is hope, there are people that can and will help. If I could do that and one guy hears it and it turns him around, I'm all about it, and that's what I'm doing here. The final piece for me that has gotten me to a place beyond where I've been for the last 50 some odd years with the PTSD is Aviv. The Aviv Clinic I highly recommend it. They say you can't cure PTSD, or at least that's what I've heard in my last 20, 50, 40 years. And finally somebody came out and said we can cure it, and they did. I'm standing here because they did.
Gary Sinise Foundation Education Manager Tom Gibbs says they want to highlight for the younger generations the sacrifices that the men and women of the armed forces have made for us and make sure that that history is not forgotten and that these folks are appreciated. These interviews will be available online through the Veterans History Project at the Library of Congress at loc.gov. Ron Miller knows all too well what it feels like to be a U.S. soldier serving overseas. He also knows exactly what it means to receive a care package from a stranger, and that is just one reason why he and his wife Trish decided to donate more than 350 retired Department 56 pieces to Operation Shoebox to help ensure even more U.S. soldiers experience that same feeling of gratitude with every care package. Ron says it was a Department 56 puppeteer shop piece that Trish first saw and fell in love with. So he bought it, and from there, their appreciation and collection took on a life of its own. Now that they have enjoyed it, they want to give back to help soldiers.
My wife and I wanted to have these pieces go someplace worthwhile. We're career military, and we always took care of the military. They don't get the right, they can't even get the postages. This is what this is about, to give them gifts. And one time I remember getting a package, not from this organization, a different one, and it was cold, and you can't believe, it was a knit hat. It was ridiculously colors, and it had a tassel on top. And I'm gonna tell you, I was in a cold zone. I wore that thing till it wore out. And that was one of the best gifts I had in my life. And that's the way these kids feel. You don't realize that. Like now they send gloves and different things. You and I think, oh, that's no big deal. But I was a recipient once, and I know how this is. They said, this stuff is going to have 2 good lives after it leaves us. It'll go to someone who will really appreciate it, and it'll take care of the soldiers. She knows in her heart where they're going and what the cause is, and so that helps the pain a little bit. But I want to thank my wife too for everything she's done for this. She's made most of this possible.
One of the big pieces is Holy Land Little Town of Bethlehem.
It's just the beauty of it I like. It's got like the old Roman great pillars that come down, all little utensils hanging on it, copper pots and pans hanging, beautiful Arabic rugs, knit rugs hanging off the side of the building. And a little fella on one balcony, because it's so hot, he used to sleep outside. He's sleeping outside on the balcony. It's beautiful stuff. It's not your toys. Some of these little figurines are going to go for peanuts. And I just looked the other day and they're going crazy. A little figurine of maybe somebody handing out roasted chestnuts. Originally it was maybe $20. Some of them are going like $139 now. They're going to be very reasonably priced. Do not look at the prices in Department 56 because they're not going to be like that. And the people that know about Department 56, you're going to find some real gems in there. I'm just enticing you to come down there because they are there. And if you know what you're looking for, you're crazy if you don't come. So it's twofold. You get to have a wonderful thing that goes in your house that you enjoy. You'll also, the best charity in your life, you're giving to these guys who volunteer, the young men and women. They volunteered, every one of them.
All of the more than 350 pieces and their original boxes were on sale July 17th. More than $5,000 was raised so far. For more details about this sale, you can call Sandy DeCristofaro at 352-753-0358. And if you would like to donate to Operation Shoebox, visit osbtv.org. Click on donations at the top of the page and follow the supporters link. After this short break, we take you outdoors for a paddling activity, so stay with us.
You're always welcome at Codys.
Follow me right this way.
It's where friends and family meet for fun times and great food.
We enjoy the 2-for-1 happy hour from 11 to 7.
We come here for the amazing nightly entertainment.
Great service and loads of smiles await you at Codys Original Roadhouse in Brownwood and Lake Sumter Landing.
What's your position, Lunar 1? Over.
Repeat that, Mission Control. I don't understand. Over.
What's your position? Over.
I need my hearing aids reprogrammed.
Joe here. We've remotely changed your hearing aid prescription. How do I sound?
Copy that. Loud and clear.
Program your hearing aid from anywhere in the universe with Global Live.
Only at Elite Hearing Centers of America.
The Villages Grown has been inviting people to explore their innovative hydroponic greenhouses by taking a Villages Grown farm tour. And while on site, you can also visit their unique mobile market to purchase fresh produce, too.
I first was introduced to the Airstream at Fenny, when it was at the Fenny Grill area, and also at Loblolly and Longleaf. So I'm not a stranger to the van or to the Airstream, but it's a great idea, and I think there are folks probably haven't discovered the store at Sawgrass, which I'd highly recommend because it's really nice. So it's a great opportunity to get introduced to the product, try some and see what you think. It's incredible because you don't, I mean, I didn't expect to find the produce that they have and they perform. Now going through the tour, it's even more impressive because it's like nothing else I've ever seen. And I grew up in Wisconsin in the farming area, so I'm familiar with agriculture, but this is not agriculture. Having gone up and down 44 and Morris, past it, and I've always wondered what it's like, so I was really interested in seeing it inside. And I'm impressed by the science. I'm impressed by how meticulous they are and how they produce the product and how they package it and distribute it. And I think it's only going to get bigger. And I'm just hoping that other folks, when they go to the drugs or the grocery store, that they discover it because it's fabulous. I use the microgreens all the time. Just another example of what's happening in the Village area, and being a resident here, I really appreciate the fact that there's lots of things going on, including some really high science items when it comes to growing food. Of course, the entertainment's there and all the other things. So I'm convinced, I'm a believer, and I have two sisters now that live down here as well. So we're almost starting a compound here at the Villages.
It's been a very positive response. So When they go in, they put their ticket, they get their little goodie bag, so when they're done with that, they can come in here and they can shop around and go ahead and add in a few more items, so that way they can have a wonderful, wholesome meal when they get home. On Tuesdays and Wednesdays, our tour hours are from 4 until, I believe our last one is at 6:15. So we are open to the public during those days, so they can come in Tuesdays and Wednesdays during the tour times and go ahead and purchase whatever they would like to have for their dinners. So we have our microgreens, we have our heirloom tomatoes, we have our beefsteak tomatoes, we have our variety of lettuces. We just encourage people to come on in and see what our facility, how we operate, so they get that connection to their food.
You can also find Village's grown products at local Publix and Winn-Dixie locations, and it's also accessible through Kroger delivery. Since the tours began, about 560 people have gone behind the scenes. To schedule a farm tour, visit thevillagesentertainment.com, hover over Ticketed Entertainment, and then click on the Village's Grown Farm Tours. July was National Parks and Recreation Month. New and veteran paddlers can kayak at Lake Okahumpka Recreation. On Tuesdays and Thursdays, residents can sign up for guided kayaking, just like Village of Citrus Grove resident Chris Doherty did.
My friend and I, Sue, signed up for the 4 Thursdays in a row because we are both kayakers from before, but haven't done it in a few years. It's wonderful. We're out for about an hour and a half, and we go around this whole big lake. She tells us about the birds. I couldn't see the bald eagles that she was saying because I need cataract surgery, I think. But it's beautiful, beautiful. They're very good at explaining how to get in because these are sit-on-top kayaks, and they're easy to get into and out of once they show you how to do it. My friend was worried she was going to not be able to get in, and guess what? She got in just fine. So it's a piece of cake. I didn't think I'd see so much vegetation in this. I've lived in Florida for 32 years and in Bradenton, and we have manatees, and I was thinking this would be a perfect place for manatees with all this green vegetation they have. So I was surprised that there was so much vegetation in the water. I thought there was going to be clearer water, but it was easy to get through. It was easy to get through. It was fun. And I can't wait to come back here. But I'm going to dress differently because it's quite warm, and I'm not going to put all these long pants on, and I'm going to have my own water with ice the next time, too. It's great. Fantastic.
Intro to kayaking sessions are also available on the second and fourth Wednesday of each month at Lake Okahumpka Recreation. These sessions will take a brief hiatus in August and return in September. Up next, woodworkers put their skills to good use. We'll be right back.
This hurricane preparedness tip from VNN and WVLG is brought to you by The Village's Insurance.
Hi, this is WVLG Senior Forecaster Dave Toll. Our furry friends need to be cared for during a hurricane as well. What's the best approach? Create a pet survival kit and include spare litter pan for your cat, clean wipes, trash bags for waste disposal. Create a purchase pet safety kit. Be sure it contains gauze pads, adhesive tape, cotton balls or swabs, 3% hydrogen peroxide, ice pack, disposable gloves, scissors, tweezers, antibiotic ointment, syringe or turkey baster, liquid dishwashing soap for bathing, towels, flashlight, saline eye solution. Have an evacuation plan for your pets. Know your nearest pet-friendly shelters and hotels ahead of time. Do not allow your pets to drink from puddles or eat unknown foods. Keep listening for more information, including pet supplies, tips, and detailed information to keep on hand during hurricane season. Presented by the Village's Insurance, and thank you for listening to your Village's Soundtrack, WVLG.
There are at least 30 members of the Village's Woodworkers Club who are dedicated to showing their appreciation for U.S. soldiers. One way they say thank you is by creating pens for troops.
They give us the mechanical parts. We turn the pen itself, put them together, send it back, and then they send them out to the troops. They keep asking us for more. I guess that's good feedback. Just satisfaction in doing it. I mean, we supply the wood and stuff like that, but you know, it's not very much wood type of thing, and people like doing it. It's all volunteer, and we're always looking for new members come in with experience that would like to do that.
On March 1st, club member Ron Gammon turned the 4,000th pen this group has made. John estimates they should be making the 5,000th pen in October or November. David Booth served in the United States Army for 20 years. When he returned from Iraq and began to transition into civilian life, he noticed a lot of issues veterans like himself face. This led him to creating Combat Veterans to Careers in May of 2012.
So what we do is we help veterans and their families transition from the military back into supportive and civilian communities. We help get them education, housing, transportation, 360 degrees of support as they're transitioning out of the military.
Since founding Combat Veterans to Careers, they have helped more than 955 veteran families with education, employment, housing, and wellness. To help support their programs, they have Restoring Hope Thrift Store and a new Restoring Hope clothing boutique.
So the store is actually a great funding source for us. When we started our organization, we saw a lot of need, veterans transitioning out. They needed household items, they needed furniture, they needed things as they were getting out of the military that they didn't have after. So we had a ton of storage units, and then we ended up, the building came available, so we started a thrift store. So people donate to our organization, and then our veterans, they would get a voucher, so we're able to supply that, but at the same time we're able to sell the furniture and raise funding, so that 90 cents of every dollar we raise goes back to our veteran programs. So we have this, our Restoring Hope Thrift Store here on 44, and then downtown Wildwood next to City Hall, we're opening up Restoring Hope Clothing Boutique.
Go ahead.
And what we accept there is all types of clothing, shoes, and accessories like purses and hats and scarves and different items like that. So we accept donations for our household items and household goods. We do pick up. We have a pickup truck that will come and pick up those items. If you're donating furniture and you have clothing, you can donate those at the same time. But for our clothing store, it's drop-off only. We're trying to really help revitalize downtown Wildwood. So in the front of the boutique will be it's called Honor Grounds Coffee. And what we'll do is we'll have specific blends like Arlington blend, and which will honor our veterans. This is called Restoring Hope Thrift Store. And I regret calling it a thrift store because the items in here are not like your typical thrift store. It's more of a resale shop. They're very nice items. So with the clothing, it's a clothing boutique. We've put a lot of time and sweat equity. We've had a number of our veterans working over there. So this is a really good community for these veterans to build their lives and have a great life while supporting the villages.
Restoring Hope Thrift Store is located at 400 East Gulf Atlantic Highway, and Restoring Hope Clothing Boutique is located at 104 Wanders Street next to City Hall in Wildwood. The boutique will open on Tuesday. Hours for both stores are 9:30 a.m. to 4:30 p.m. Monday through Friday and 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. Saturdays. Up next, a legendary volleyball player comes to the Villages.
Stay with us. More Villages lifestyle news is coming up right after this on VNN.
When cleaning your air ducts, it's important to clean the entire system. An air duct cleaning from Stanley Steemer removes pounds of trapped dirt, dust, and allergens from your home completely. The cleaning improves your home's indoor air quality, keeps your home cleaner longer, and can even improve the efficiency of your HVAC system. We want you to have the cleanest and healthiest indoor air possible. So call for a free inspection today.
Stanley Steemer gets your home cleaner.
Broadcasting and streaming live from Lake Sumter Landing in a small building with big windows near the water. AM 640, 102.7 and 104.5 FM. Your soundtrack to the Villages. WVLG Wildwood. This is VNN.
Three-time Olympic gold medalist Misty May trainer was in the Villages on July 21st for a special volleyball skills clinic.
It's funny that we're inside, right? Because most people associate me with beach volleyball, but I did play indoor. I grew up playing indoors since the age of 10 in the club level and played for the senior national team. So I did play indoors, so I think it's just hard because the kids these days associate me only with beach volleyball. I think there's a wide array of athletes, which is great. There's probably beginners and there's advanced, and that's what makes it so fun is, you want to, hopefully I can leave them with a little piece of knowledge that they walk out of the gym doors better than when they walked in this morning. It's just about building a foundation. Everything that we do from sports to business, you want to build that foundation, just keep adding on. So that's my go-to is always teaching the fundamentals, getting those better, and then you build your own style. But with sports, you learn so much about yourself. You learn stuff that you can carry on to everyday life. So that's what I'm here to encourage the kids, to keep them going, to let them know that there are avenues for them after, as they continue through middle school and high school and on to college. I still go and play once a week on Thursdays with a group of fellow AVP players, veterans that I looked up to when I was playing. So I still keep involved with the game. I'm doing speaking engagements, but as far as my world now, it revolves around my three and making sure that I'm getting them to their practices and supporting them the best that we can. I really appreciate what the Buffalo Stampeders are able to do for the youth sports here in the Villages.
Misty worked with youth in grades 6 through 12 inside the gym at the Villages Charter Middle School at an event hosted by Buffalo Stampeders. Misty May Trainer was the special guest speaker at the 3rd annual Buffalo Stampeders Sportsman's Gala. It was a historic night for this event as a record-breaking $1.1 million was raised. Bowlers in this community are enjoying some brand new features. Back in September, Bolero Corporation purchased Fiesta Bowl in Spanish Springs Lanes, and on June 7th, work began at Fiesta Bowl and continued until all 32 lanes and wooden approaches were removed and replaced with new synthetic lanes and approaches. It was a process that took several skilled workers and happened while league bowlers and others continue to enjoy the sport they love.
It gives you uncertainty because when they put the new lanes in, everybody wonders, is it going to roll the ball? Is it going to roll the same? Is it going to be different? How will it be different? Can you adjust? Bowling is all about adjusting. Whatever you do, whatever lane you go in, every time you come in, everything is a little bit different. And the name of the game is how well you can adjust to the changing conditions. So far with the new lanes, I haven't seen that much difference. You do have to adjust. They seem to hook a little bit more than they did before, but not a lot. It doesn't seem that much different. My games have been pretty much the same as they always are. They're a big time operation. They are professionals. They own 300 alleys or more across the country. They definitely know what they're doing, and they're doing their best to upgrade the 2 alleys here in the Villages. They've spent a lot of money replacing these lanes and approaches, new flooring in here, new computer system to run the business. It's a big deal. They put a lot of money in here. I think they want to make it right.
I have at Fiesta Bowl, and my average has really gone up just since they put them in. I find them, the way I throw the ball, I don't have a lot of ball speed, but I find that it works really good for me. I'm really happy with them.
The previous lanes were installed in 1997. If you notice your ball bouncing on the new lanes, that's because they are now made solid underneath the lanes. On June 24th, during the Village's match game tournament at Fiesta Bowl, a field of more than 75 bowlers were on those new lanes. Tournament winner Mark Young enjoyed his first time. He felt they played more fair than usual. Steve Ferraro helped to run the tournament. He says some bowlers would not want to bowl on certain pairs before, but now people don't care where they bowl with these new lanes. He felt that made things more consistent and the scores were still high. Currently, Spanish Springs Lanes is still being completed, and soon the entire 32 lanes will be finished. When that is done, both centers will have identical approaches and lanes for the very first time. New scoring consoles have also been added, along with new flooring throughout each center. It's time now for a brief commercial break. We'll be right back.
The number one complaint that I hear from most of my patients, and remember, some of these patients are here against their will, right? Somebody sent them here. They came in kicking and screaming with their arms crossed. And even those folks will tell me their biggest issue that they think they have, or that they even will acknowledge, is understanding people in social settings. You can have a very subtle high-frequency loss and very good normal low-frequency hearing, and you get into a crowd with noise, you're lost, right? You hear people, but you don't understand them. All you have to do by law to fit somebody with a hearing aid is have them push a button to tones, have them repeat words in a quiet situation, and do bone conduction, where they put a bone oscillator on your head, right? That's all it takes legally. But if somebody tells me, hey, doc, I can't hear well in noise, or I'm lost in crowds, don't I want that information? Don't I want to assess that? So speech and noise testing is my favorite test that I run with patients, because it quantifies their acknowledgement of a complaint that they know they have. It lets me show them, compared to normal hearing individuals, this is your handicap in noise.
More than a dozen current Tenage Salon Institute students had the opportunity to display their talents July 20th during a Hollywood glam-themed Salon J Lee Scholarship fashion show.
So we're doing a fashion runway show. It's a scholarship opportunity that Salon J Lee is hosting, and our students are going to be creating a Hollywood glam look on their models and having a chance to win a scholarship. It covers towards their tuition, so it goes towards anything that is books, kits related, and it's a nice little first, second, third place winners. The models are actually friends and families of the students that are participating in it. Janet actually thought about it. It was something fun for the students to express their creativity, kind of step out of the box of just doing, you know, behind the chair work. It actually gives them the opportunity to experience the different sides of cosmetology. The extra experience, truthfully, it helps them to be able to put on a resume that they were able to participate in a fashion show and think about what future opportunities this industry could provide for them. We've got a beautiful display for them to stand in front of and, you know, just make it as fun as possible.
These fashion shows are held twice a year. The first place winner was Tyler McNeil, who received a $750 scholarship. This was her second time winning a competition, and she feels like she has proven her strength. Her design included a peacock theme, and the outfit was made through secondhand items found at local thrift shops to fit her model, fellow Tenage student Lyric Sanders. The second place winner was Kylie Zawil, who received $500, and Anna Williams won a $250 scholarship for third place. Salon J Lee has new classes that start every 4 weeks. Well, we just packed a lot of stories into just one show, and we hope you enjoyed seeing them once again. Thanks for watching.
Thanks for watching your VNN Lifestyle News Show.
You want to enjoy your home, we know. To live well is to eat well. Doc's Restorations knows you want a beautiful kitchen to enjoy your favorite meals with your family. Licensed, bonded, and insured, we can make it happen. Bathroom? We work with trusted brands and American-made materials for a squeaky clean result. Family owned and operated for over 14 years, experienced craftsmen and design consultants. We stand on it. We'll make you look like a million. It's up to you what you tell your neighbors. And much more. So relax. Doc's Restorations will take care of it all for you. One company, one source, one solution.